Hi,
Good
welcome to
morning.
Healing Anatomy. I'm here with Karen. Karen is like everybody else that I interview, another special person in my life. As I've mentioned, I don't have very healthy knees. And Karen, when I lived in LA and she lived in LA, we worked together to try to bring some stability to my knees as well as some stability to our lives together.
Good morning. It's 20 to 8 here in Austin. It's nice to see you.
It's nice to see you too. You look absolutely fabulous. Can you just
Oh, thank you.
flex your muscles for me again for a second so I can be jealous and like inspired?
Yep. I teach Pilates and wellness and posture here in Austin. But when we met, I had a studio. We were able to work together for a while.
Yeah, and now I can start working with you via Zoom as well, correct?
I know, it's really so
Yay!
cool.
It just brings us closer and I get to see your gorgeous face more.
Likewise. Likewise.
Um, So currently, I'm discussing the first chakra, which is from the age of 0 to 8 is when your first chakra is developed. And it's about foundation and rituals and safety, which is the discussion you and I will have. Expressed that my situation when I was barely 5 years old and we were ripped from our country, and the word safe became something I just didn't understand anymore and trust anymore because I was so safe. My parents gave us such strong, safe, secure foundation. And yet, here just came a group of people that were like, oh, we're just going to take that away from you. And so then I realized that all through my life, that unsafe feeling was something that I became accustomed to and continued to attract to me unsafe behaviors. Um, and so I've had to retrain myself to learn what does safe mean? What does safe look like? And as I've, been working and healing for 35 years, I've learned that that is a word that a lot of people actually um, don't have the right definition of safe in their bodies because of their experiences. And so I ask you from 0 to 8, the word safe.
Well, I always tell people I had a pretty colorful childhood. I was raised in a very abusive environment. My dad was a super frustrated gay man who I was outed when I was 7 years old and went to jail when I was 9 years old. So my version of safe went away when I was probably about 6 or 7 when that all went down. But the craziest part is that my mom did such an extraordinary job of protecting us. I'm one of five and 5 children. And that I didn't feel unsafe with her, but I knew I was unsafe with him. But I didn't think it was that weird at the time because that's all I knew. But I knew it wasn't right. My parents fought so much that the windows shook and the police would come. And I knew that was not acceptable. I knew I was not safe at home. He abused us. But yet at the same time, like my mom made it so that, I mean, it was 1974 or something. What was my mom going to do? Take off with 5 kids? Like back then, nobody talked about child abuse or anything like that, or any kind of abuse. So what was she going to do? Like leave? So I think she did the best that she could. under the circumstances. And then go ahead.
No, I was going to say, as you grew up.
As I grew up, I think I built up this wall around me so that I could feel safe and protect myself. And I think I had a real hard time allowing people in my life. And then I had babies, and then that wall came down. And now I'm just a fierce mama bear, and my version of safe is now for them, make sure that never happens, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's, as I understand, because I have 3 kids as well, we do the best that we can to give them the safe that we didn't have, right?
Yes.
And I don't know about you, but there's times where it creeps back in and brings about fear, fear of letting them around people that don't feel right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or fear of like how much are they supposed to experience on their own versus should I jump in? And if we jump in, does it create codependency? Does it take away from their independence?
And finances are such a large part of that, because we didn't have any money. When my dad went to jail, it was left up to my mom. We were on food stamps, and she cried. And so I have fear or safety around money because of that whole thing. I could have tons of money in the bank and not feel safe there either. And all of that comes from that same time where nothing about our life was technically safe, other than he was in jail, which made us safer, but everything else then became chaotic, because then she was a single mom with 5 kids. I think I grew up Jewish, and I believe that the Jewish community, for me, I think that was a large part of our safety, because we had that community. That's been a new revelation for me, realizing that aspect. But I didn't realize that until recently.
Yeah, because part of not feeling safe makes it hard to ask for help, right? Because what kind of help can you actually trust, and what kind of hand is being given to you, and what are the expectations when those hands are put forth?
Well, and I think that when you are a survivor of any form in any way, I become fiercely independent, and I'm sure I can do it better than anybody else. So I don't ask for help very often, because I'm safer doing it all by myself.
Yeah, because if we do it and we do it our way, which is the way that we have determined is safest with our walls.
Right. The word safe just kind of grows and grows and grows, because but it stems from, like what we're talking about when you're younger, and you're formed around those memories, those incidences, those details.
Yeah, and for me, I know that it's been saying my affirmations every day, which includes I am safe, right? And changing my notion of safety on a cellular level that has allowed me to like you discussed, no amount of money. Like my parents went from poor to wealthy and still lost everything. So even no amount of money makes me feel safe.
Mm-mm.
And I find that it almost deters money, or I attract a reason for that money to just disappear and to go back to that unsafe place, which ironically enough was where I was just more comfortable on a cellular level.
Right. Because then the excuses are given to you. Well, this didn't work because, it's really interesting. You begin to make up excuses for those details.
Yeah, but no more.
No, we get in a time of our life where we start getting down into it. And well, I am right now. I've been on a journey for the last few years, really working to figure out what makes me tick, where it came from, how I move forward, but not living in the past, but really appreciating that past, not letting it define me anymore. Looking at those details and growing with it so that I don't pass it along, that my kids aren't screwed up by it. You know, it's
There's,
that
yeah,
that's becoming.
there's other
Mhm.
ways we can screw them up.
I always joke that my kids are going to need therapy because of me, but they're going to be greater humans because of me too. So
Exactly. And mainly because you were courageous enough um to own your past, right? Not just ignore it. To courageous enough to view how your past is a part of your present, but also courageous enough to go no more.
I think I really feel strongly that the more we don't talk about it, the more we stuff it down, the more detrimental it is to our person now, but to our future, our kids, to our lives in the future, that unless we can find a way to make peace with it, to not let it define us, to not carry it forward, and to talk about it in a real way that it's not an emotional, like I'm not blaming anybody anymore. Forgiveness, somebody said a long time ago, or I read it a long time ago, that forgiveness is about me. It's not about them accepting, so I forgive my parents. I absolutely 100% forgive them. But that was for me. That wasn't for them. So it's
Yeah.
allowed me to really be free so that I can wake up and be grateful for the life that I have currently because of them.
Well, yeah,
In spite
because
of them, but
yeah,
because of them.
yeah, no, because there's the aspects of your past that did that don't define who you are today, but they help develop the
Yes.
journey that you're walking.
Yes. I mean, there are two roads. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure there are more, but there's that one where I can sit and blame, or I can one say, okay, well, that happened. Let's talk about it. If I need to talk about it, I will. But some people don't want to listen to it, and that's okay. But I could sit and wallow in it and blame, or I can just continue to move forward. Some people say it's a state of denial, but I just choose this path, whatever their title is. I feel pretty
Well,
real about it.
I definitely know it's not denial, because
Uh,
it takes a lot of courage to talk. We're taught, to avoid discussing anything too deep or too emotional.
yes.
Um, but to heal, you have to go deep.
And in order to create change that's bigger than just my life, it has to be discussed. I feel.
Yes.
But,
Oh, go
you
ahead.
know, no, it's just people, I think the conversation has to get out there about child abuse, about money issues, about, whatever the taboo subjects are, about the things that people don't want to talk about. I really feel strongly that those are what's helping our kids grow and change. It's helping me grow and change into a better human. But that's just my take.
Well, and I agree with your take, which is why I am doing these interviews, which is why I am so grateful for you today. You're so busy and so wonderful. And for you to share, because not only did you share something that happened that would have taken a lot of people down, or like you said, you could have chosen that road that put you in a stuck position. But instead, you are such an amazing, fierce, loving God. You've got such a big heart, woman, and your kids are blessed to have you as a mom, and I am blessed to have you as a friend.
Oh, thank you. I
And
feel the same way about you.
yeah, and from the first day I met you, I would have never known your story until we started talking. And that is a tribute to how you have healed, are healing, are continuing to heal, which is why I wanted to have this talk.
Thank you. I do feel very strongly that it's because I surround myself with greatness. When I was younger, my mom always said, surround yourself with people that are better, smarter, greater than you. And it's true. I do. I surround myself with greatness, and it really does, in some magical way, just lift me up. It holds me up when I need it,
Hmm.
lifts me up when I need it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you're part of that.
oh,
So I'm grateful.
as you or me. And I hope that we can have some more of these talks. Because I think
Keep having these talks, Missy. Keep having these talks.
yay. Well, I think you're inspiring, and I thank you
Likewise.
so much for your time. And I'm so
My pleasure.
excited to talk to you again, as well as like get you to fix my body on Zoom because my body is like, oh, we need her.
And by the way, the other day you said about your affirmations, and since then I have been running and doing. When I run, I meditate. And I've been doing my affirmations.
Yay! I'm so proud of you, and I
It took
love that you mentioned.
that 1 second of your conversation to change me. So thank you.
Well, that's what we want to do. And I love
Yeah.
that you said that running is your meditation because that's the one thing I try to tell people. No, we don't all meditate the same, right? And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, and that's a whole other story that you and I could
Right.
chat about. But I'm very proud of your affirmations. Keep doing them because
Thank
I
you.
know they've changed my life. As I told you,
Yes.
I lost 30 pounds saying my
Yeah.
affirmations, which is
Right.
insane, but living proof.
Well, thank you for inviting me here. I'm always open to you and to discuss anything, but more so, it's a pleasure waking up with you this morning.
Yay! As I'm enjoying my afternoon now.
Right.
All right, my love. Have a blessed day.
Thank you. You too.
Enjoy those babes. Enjoy you.
I will. You too.
Okay. Love ya.
Right. Love you too. Bye now.